The judge's house. Maran lived in a little city, which name we don't know. And he decided to go to the university, but he had to learn a lot of things, and his family couldn't give him enough money for teachers to learn it. So he decided to go to another city. He didn't tell his family where he was going because he didn't want them to find him. He went to another city which was very far from there. When he came there, he had a little money for renting a house. He found one, and it was very old and beautiful. At first he thought that he couldn't rent it, but the man who was a realtor,
the landlord.
The landlord said that it was there were no people there for a long time, and he could give it to him by free. For free. So the young man decided to rent this house. He had a servant, and when she heard where he will live, she jumped. It was the judge's house. At first he didn't understand why they called it the judge's house. And the woman didn't want to tell him the story of this house. She told only that a very terrible man lived there. She said that she will buy everything, would buy everything what he would need, but she didn't want to live in this house too. She said that she will live in the hotel. When the man came into the house, he liked it very much. It was old and very beautiful inside. But there were a lot of putin. Web. Then he took his books and went to the park, which was near the house. There he spent some hours learning his books. When he came to the house, he saw his servant with a lot of things from her own house and from shop for the house, and with one bed. But why did you bring me a bed here? There is a bed. There is also a bed.
There is a bed already.
There is a bed already in the house, but nobody slept there for many years. So nobody has slept there for many years. So I decided to give you another bed. The man thought that in the city he would spend all his time learning. So in the evening he took his book and started to read near the fireplace. At this moment, a landlord came. He said that some people will tell him about ghosts in the house, but it is not true. There are some rats and insects, but there were no ghosts. And he went away. While the man was reading a book. He heard rats screaming,
Screeching.
screeching and
Scratching.
and shouting, screaming,
Squeaking.
yes,
Squeaking.
The landlord was right. There are rats
In the house.
in the house. But then he saw a huge rat on the fireplace. It was looking at him very angrily. He took a book and threw it to the rat. At the rat. But it didn't move. Then he took another book and threw it to the rat. At the rat. And only then she, with a scream, ran away.
And only then did it
Only then did it ran away.
run away.
Then the man went to pick up the books from the floor, and he was surprised because the book which scared the rat was his mother's own Bible. Then after that the rats began to scratch again. After some hours he was very
Frightened?
tired, and he went to sleep. When he woke up, his servant was already in the house. She gave him a cup of tea and asked if he had a good night. He said that he had, and that he saw.
He did. He said that he did.
He said that he did. That he saw.
That he saw.
That he saw a huge rat on the fireplace. And all the devil sitting by the fire shouted the woman, "Be careful, sir. If you were my son, I didn't let you to live in this house for one day. I advise you to go to another place, sir, or you will have a lot of problems." "I don't think so," said Moran, and went to the park. Before he went, he asked the servant to wash the pictures which were under the fireplace. When he came from his walk, he looked at the pictures. On one of the pictures, in one of the pictures was a portrait of an old man. Moran asked the servant, "Who is it?" "Oh, it's an old judge which lived there for many years." Here. He had повесил. He had hanged a lot of people here. And you can see a hang rope in one of rooms. Nobody knows why it is there.
Nobody knows why.
Nobody knows why it is there. And Moran decided to look at this rope. he went upstairs and started to look for a room with the rope, but he didn't find it. So he decided again to learn his books near the fire place. At first he didn't hear the sound of rats, but at 7 o'clock they started to shout,
to squeak.
to squeak. But then he heard that rats stopped squeaking, and the huge rat appeared. Moran took the Bible of his mother and threw it to the rat. The rat squeaked and ran away. Moran decided to follow her to see where follow it to see where it was going and where was its hiding place.
Its hiding place was.
Its hiding place was. He went. He followed it and saw that it went behind the portrait, and then he understood that the face of the old judge was the same as the face of a huge rat. That's all.
The huge